I want to ask you about your director, who's your brother. I mean, obviously that you know him. What is that one thing you can tell me about him? Ki, yeah, this is his biggest strength, and this is something he needs to work on.
As a director,
Yeah.
his biggest strength is, I think, his clarity in his vision.
Okay.
And I think that's a great thing for a director to possess.
Do you somewhere believe they are ghosts or they are no ghosts?
You know, I used to not.
You used to not believe.
I used to not believe.
Okay.
I used to not believe at all.
Hmm.
But one day something very weird happened to me in my own house. So since then, I'm a little bit shaken in my belief. But then after that, nothing happened.
Okay.
So then I was like, maybe it was a dream.
Was there ever discussion कि कुछ दूसरा बनाते हैं, comedy बनाते हैं, family entertainment बनाते हैं?
No.
Okay.
I think once he zeroed down on the script, that's what
Okay,
I'm
he
saying. His
zeroed
clarity
down,
was
okay.
very good. कि अभी ये बनाना है तो यही बनाना है. We both enjoyed the script.
When you see him, your own brother as a director, he's entering this big movie business, which is so different and fragile and all kinds of things. What have you prepared him for as a sister?
I think I've actually spoiled him.
बना तू.
Keep telling him, nahi.
Yeah.
I keep telling him, you worked with me now, you will not enjoy only working with me. Because you got real lucky. I'm actually very good to work with.
When I see your filmography, you've done all kinds of movies, you know, across genre. कभी ये आ जाता है, कभी कोई out and out masala आ जाता है. Where does this fit in your filmography in your head?
Like it fits. It's a good fit.
It's a perfect fit.
It's a film that I wanted to do. It's a character that I wanted to play. Hi, this is Sonakshi Sinha and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Sonakshi, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you very much.
Always good to see you. You know, this poster, Sonakshi Sinha in and as Nikita Roy. This adds, you know, this is, how often does this happen in a career firstly?
It's never happened to me.
First time.
Yeah. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. You know, to get a title role where you're the central character is amazing. I want to ask you about your director, who's your brother. Now that you, I mean, obviously that you know him, what is that one thing you can tell me about him ki, yeah, this is his biggest strength and this is something he needs to work on?
As a director, his biggest strength is, I think, his clarity in his vision.
Okay.
And I think that's a great thing for a director to possess. You know, when you know exactly what it is that you want to make. Yeah, that's the good part. What he can work on is, I feel he's very conscious. You know, even while directing and he's always sometimes his ears are everywhere. Okay. Rather than, you know, just being on what it is that he's doing. So it's like two sides of the coin. He has them both, but I think in spite of everything, and that also comes from being a first-time director, right? I've worked with so many first-timers. They bring a really nice, fresh energy onto set and a very different perspective. So yeah, it's only natural for him to kind of be taking in everybody's inputs and advices, and there is always a lot of chatter on set, right? And with what you're doing, too many voices. There are the actors, your ADs, your producers, everyone, and like you're this one person trying to balance everything out. So yeah, but I think if he paid a little less attention to all of that, that would be nice.
Right. You know, out of the two of you, whose genre is this? Like to watch, to enjoy?
I love watching thrillers. Horror, not so much. I'm a bit of a scary cat. But thrillers, I love. Suspense, I love. I love investigative characters that are going in search of things, and you know, where there's chases and like mystery. I love all of that. So I really enjoy watching this.
Right. The opening line of the trailer is कि आप में से कोई भी ghost में believe करता है. So that's my question to you also. Do you somewhere believe there are ghosts or there are no ghosts?
You know, I used to not. But
you used to not believe.
I used to not believe.
Okay.
I used to not believe at all. But one day something very weird happened to me in my own house. So since then, I'm a little bit shaken in my belief. But then after that, nothing happened.
Okay.
So then I was like, maybe it was a dream.
Okay.
You know. So I don't know.
It was a harmless ghost.
Possibly. No, then I went also, because I'll tell you what happened exactly. It's a fun story. So I was sleeping, and you know, in that sleep where you're awake but you're not awake, your eyes are shut but your mind is on, and like that. So it was just that. And it was around I'd just seen the time. It was around 4 a.m. or something like that. And I'm seeing, and suddenly I'm sleeping, but I'm awake. So now I don't know if it was a dream or not. I suddenly felt, some slight sort of pressure, like somebody's just like, picking me up. Like, I died. I was so
scary.
scared. I didn't even open my eyes.
That's scary.
I didn't even open my eyes to see koi hai, nahi hai. I just froze.
That is
like
scary.
I literally froze. I couldn't move. And then I didn't open my eyes till the morning, till the lights came in. I could see a little bit of light. That's when I opened my eyes and I ran about with my
But
teeth.
that changed your belief.
That really shook me up.
Yeah,
And then the next day when I was coming home, it was late at night again. I opened my door and I peeked in first, and then I said very loudly, I said, "Jo bhi ho, jo aaya tha kal raat ko." ऐसे बात मत करना, मैं बहुत डर गई थी. Please, कुछ भी बात करना मेरे सपने में आना.
Yeah, you were having a conversation with the...
Sit face to face and have a conversation. Don't do all this. And I walked in, and I swear, I kid you not, after that, nothing has happened.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you watched a horror film after that?
No, I actually haven't after that.
And if you were to watch, how do you watch it? Do you...
Like this. Like I watch it with like my eyes in a slit so
Dekhna
that if
bhi hai.
anything happens,
you can shut.
I can shut it.
Right. But are you will you go to the theatre to watch a horror with your friends just as a...
Honestly, I did go the last time I went to watch a horror film was with Zahir and a friend of his and his Rakhi sister. And I did not enjoy it.
Right. You know, when you all discuss this at home, ki he's directing this, you're acting in it, who all were on the side ki was there ever discussion ki kuch dusra banate hain, comedy banate hain, family entertainment banate hain?
No.
Okay.
I think once he zeroed down on the script, that's what I'm saying. His clarity was very good. Ki abhi ye banana hai to yehi banana hai. And we both enjoyed the script. It had come to me years back through someone else.
Okay.
And then disappeared. And I used to keep thinking about it. And then I don't know where from he found the script and, it came back to me. I really believe, what is written for you
comes to you. Yeah.
And it came, he worked on it, he adapted it to how he wanted to make it. And I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, it all worked out very well in the end.
Right, he's assisted in the past. This is, he's obviously directed. When you see him, your own brother as a director, he's entering this big movie business, which is so different and fragile and all kinds of things. What have you prepared him for as a sister?
I think I've actually spoiled him.
Bana
keep telling him, nahi. Yeah. I keep telling him, you worked with me now, you will not enjoy only working with me. Because you got real lucky. I'm actually very good to work with. So, if I may say so myself. So, I think I had to spoil him.
Right. He said that there was one disagreement, which was the color of the ice cream. What was that?
It was so silly. I actually thought as siblings we'll be squabbling all over the film. But that didn't happen. On the last day, I think it was our last shot, and I was supposed to be having an ice cream in the scene, and I chose the ice cream which I wanted to eat, the one I like. But he didn't like the color of that.
He didn't like the color of the...
He didn't like the color of
What was the color?
I don't even remember now. And then we started arguing on the ice cream now. I was like, मुझे तो यही चाहिए, मुझे यही खाना है. He's like, नहीं, ये color काम नहीं कर रहा.
And you were saying for the flavor.
He's like, ये color तो काम नहीं कर रहा frame में. And as a director, of course, you have a visual and like you've imagined it a certain way. And then luckily what happened was the ice cream was melting because it was so hot in London that day. There was some heat wave going on. So we scrapped the ice cream. I was like, chalo chahiye hi nahi ice cream.
Okay, so dono ka ho gaya?
Dono ka ho gaya.
Okay, you didn't get your color.
It was
he didn't get
sorted by the
nature.
Forces of nature.
Right. As kids, as we all have had stories with cousins and we've watched horror movies. Did you all watch the older horror movies? Pehle jo aate tha?
No, I think I've not grown up watching movies, surprisingly.
So horror
a lot of people find it very hard to believe.
What were you doing as a kid?
I used to play sports. I used to read a lot when I was a kid. I used to... everything but movies interested me.
Wow, that's really something, having actor in your house.
Yeah. I think maybe that's why, because we were so close to it. Like the fascination never was there. But that my childhood was mostly like...
I will ask your brother this, but do you see him as a movie buff from childhood? Do you think he has
I think
this
he has been. In terms of like watching, and they've studied filmmaking and stuff. So it's been there in them for a while.
Right. There was definitely a change in the audience. Like suddenly, till at least a few years ago, there was long time that horror tha nahi. Like nobody used to make horror. Suddenly, all these movies started coming, and horror comedy became a genre. There's suddenly a new audience. Is this surprising for you that इतने लोगों को horror देखना है? और ये कौन लोग हैं जिनको horror देखना?
No, I don't think it's surprising. I think it's something other than the ordinary, right? And, and at the end of the day, we do watch films for entertainment, for the thrill. And these are the kind of films that do give you that thrill. It's a lovely... Actually, I'm quite happy this is coming in the theaters because it's a nice community viewing experience. You go with a group of friends, or you go with your family and watch it, and it's fun. Yeah, it's a fun experience. So yeah.
Now that you've done this, you know how it's done. तो अब तो डर नहीं लगना चाहिए.
वो तो मैं काकुड़ा में ही सीख लिया था ना. That was my first trial and error. उसमें हो गया था सब, because I actually played a scary ghost in that also. तो उसमें हो गया था. But with this one, I was more comfortable.
Correct.
Actually, I was, because watching is very different than actually being a part of it. Your whole unit is there. You're never alone on set. Even in those jungles and forests we were shooting in London, they were like sunsan areas, but like you're okay.
Where did you all shoot? Huh?
We shot in the UK.
Okay. So.
And sunsan areas, but you're okay because your entire unit is there with you. You know, so it's not that bad.
Right. How much do you understand what is happening on the set? Because a lot of this is there's a magic of post-production and editing. How much do you understand how this will look? Do you get an idea?
I think I get a sense of things easily, because obviously having worked in so many films, a lot of films of mine have required VFX and stuff. A lot of things happen on post. So now I'm a bit okay with it.
Right. Since you are Nikita Roy, you tell us a little bit more than what we have seen in the trailer, now that we are so close to the release.
I really shouldn't, because the nature of the film is such. No, it's a suspense, it's a thriller.
What is it about this girl?
When we were younger, we used to have these Nancy Drew stories, and we used to enjoy reading them, and we used to get lost in that whole world. So I feel the world that has been created and the kind of investigator Nikita Roy is, she is an investigator, and she's trying to figure out the truth, and it's a chase of like very exciting things. So as an audience, I feel we'll enjoy watching that all over again. It'll take you back somewhere to those childhood stories that you used to read.
Right. When I see your filmography, you've done all kinds of movies. Across genre. Kabhi ye aa jata hai, kabhi koi out and out masala aa jata hai. I know you've told me in the past that masala and entertainers are something that you watch also and you enjoy also. Where does this fit in your filmography in your head?
As like it fits. It's a good fit.
It's a perfect fit.
It's a film that I wanted to do. It's a character that I wanted to play.
Right. Can you plan that कि ये भी मसाला करूँगी इसके बाद एक horror?
No, you can't plan
Why?
anything.
Because
आपको कैसे पता ना कब क्या आ जाए आपके पास, कब release हो, so a lot of those things are not in your hands. So it's okay not to even second guess things.
True. You're also talking to an audience that now is like, I like the trailer also, but I will wait for it to come on OTT. What do you want to tell them? This is a very catchy thing, but you have to convince them.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel this film will be such a nice experience to have with your family or your friends. Go to the theater, just and watch it together, rather than watching it alone at home, pause करके, forward करके, rewind करके. क्यों करना है आपको? Just go watch it in one go, and enjoy the experience.
Right. And after this, where will we see you?
After this, you will see me. I have a couple of releases actually. I just wrapped up a film. I just wrapped up 2 films this year.
Wow.
Now I'm going to take a break. I'm going to travel. Then I have one film up for release, which we finished shooting last year. So there's a few places that you might see.
Amazing. Yeah. So you've done a lot of work. Obviously, you deserve a break totally. Great. Lastly, please tell people where is it releasing, when to watch, where to watch.
It is releasing in theaters, guys, on the 27th of June. So please go and watch Nikita Roy. I'm sure you'll get a nice thrilling watch and a fun time at the theater. So enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rohit. Always a pleasure. Hi, this is Sonakshi Sinha, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.